But che0nsu might change it up. Never mind, I'm talking rubbish. Ryvius does need it. He knows better than I do. So what's the benefit of this? He loses a Frost Nova, Mind Control Tech, a Sea Giant, and an Astromancer. But as I said, gains the Oozes, the Vex Crows, and a Giggling Venter.
Astromancers tend to be a bit too slow. Vexcrow gives you another early game option if you don't draw your Apprentice or Cyclone or Giant, where you can just throw out the Vexcrow with 1 or 2 cheap spells, and then you actually get something out of it. So it gives you some early mid-game stuff you can do before finding your more explosive turns. And the Ooze just helps against Waggle Picks or just normal deadly poison weapons.
Yep. Okay.
We see che0nsu also switching to the list with Henge Clan Thugs and Walk the Planks.
So, this is the moment where it might not come up, but I hope it does, because a way you can play around Walk the Plank is by hurting your own minions. So you can ping your own Giant, for example, and it's safe versus this tech. My question is, well, one, will it come up? We'll see. But mainly, like, is Ryvius going to do it? You know, how, like, ingrained in that in terms of, you know, memory and knowing what deck your opponent's going to play? You know, how much of an impact is that going to make? Because that's potentially game-winning. See the Henge Clan come out pretty early, though. Coin it out, ready for the hero power, potentially next turn.
I mean, there's no answers for this from Ryvius, short of 3 Ray of Frost, which isn't something you necessarily want to expend this early. che0nsu knows that Henge Clan Thug, early aggression against this mage, don't give him a chance to, you know, get enough time.
Funnily enough, would he ever ooze anyway? Like ooze Ray of Frost, maybe?
Specifically against che0nsu's list, if Ryvius is paying attention, he might. He knows there's no backstabs.
Right, so it's safe, right?
Exactly.
This is what we were talking about, and this is what confused me the most, is that, like, I feel like backstabs are just such a good card, it feels hard to cut for me. He's going to get the Deadly Poison. Ryvius, was that just a fist pump? Was he like, yes, he can't kill it?
Henge Clan is that problematic. It chips off so much damage early.
I don't know. Oh, an Eviscerate would have killed it, and that's it?
Perhaps, yeah. Yeah, an Eviscerate would have killed it.
Just a flat Eviscerate or a Sap, technically, would have dealt with the problem. But, yeah, Ryvius now rewarded for that play and kills off the Henge Clan. And, again, suddenly it's just looking a little bit meager. There is Raiding Party, of course. And he can get off 1 Dread Corsair.
Oh, might have 2.
Oh, sorry, yeah, he's prepping it, of course. Yeah, you're right. 2 Corsairs, going to put on a little bit of pressure. But now, like, you know, Vexcrow, Rabble Bouncer. There's Vexcrow into Magic Trick next turn, which is going to be pretty nice.
There's only 1 pirate left in the deck, I believe. It's just the green skin, so this raiding party isn't that... The second raiding party, anyways, isn't that useful.
Yeah, because the double pick as well, right?
Right. That does mean he has a couple turns figured out where you have to equip the Waggle Pick, start hitting.
Look at this as well, just Rabble Bouncer for 4 mana is just so powerful in itself. Ray of Frost going to come down, Ray of Frost number 1 going to come down out 4 to freeze this minion. And yes, it can be cleaned up by the weapon, but that's a weapon swing and 3 damage put into that minion. You're like, well, this is fine. You know, this is no real problem.
Giggling is going to be a bit of a problem as well for che0nsu to get through.
And now there's what, Vexcrow and then the Magic Trick and Ray of Frost next time?
Yeah. That's the obvious play. We'll see what Ryvius draws, but...
And also he could Magic Trick something better, right?
Right.
Mirror Images, for example.
Images would be insane if he gets that.
Ooh, is che0nsu trying to dodge the ping? Huh.
Yeah, the ping.
That's kind of funny because we can see that, like, the ping wouldn't have happened anyway. Obviously, he still gains the health, so it's just a net gain regardless. But for use of a Shadow Step, like, the ping actually wouldn't have happened almost certainly.
Yeah. I'm thinking...
Oof. Okay, okay.
I'm thinking we might see the Elemental Evocation come out just for the extra 2 drop of the Vexcrow.
Yeah, I don't see why not.
Oh, we need one of those.
Oh, yeah. Can bounce it back. Gain a Shadow Step somehow.
Oh, that's a good one.
That's a really good one. And suddenly, if che0nsu has to clear... If he chooses to decide this board is threatening enough, at least the Vexcrow, surely, and he clears this board, or even if he doesn't, he's got a whole lot of nothing right now, right?
Yeah.
He would have to, what, like, walk the plank the 0-5 of this, the 3-3?
I don't know if we're walking the plank in the 0-5. We'd probably walk the plank in one of the other 3-3s.
I guess. Oh, yeah, sure. That makes more sense.
I mean, the Lightwell is threatening, but...
I'm scared. I'm scared of a Lightwell, okay? It's like minus damage. Come on. Also known as healing.
I mean, we're seeing here how the Vexcrow helps in this matchup. When you have these spells, you don't have Apprentice, you don't have Cyclone. there's not a whole lot you can do with them, but the Vexcro adds another way where you can just get the value out of the spell itself and then some extra.
Yeah, honestly, for this one game sample size here in Grandmasters, I've been more impressed with Vexcro already than I thought I would be, if I'm completely honest. I didn't think it would be as good as this turn, but this is only one turn, right?
Yeah.
And he had pretty good cards for it as well, but maybe that's common.
And this itself isn't going to win out the game, but it requires che0nsu to use resources to clean it up. You can't just leave the Vexcro hanging around for so long.
It's a lot of damage not going face.
Yeah.
That one's clear.
Again, this just buys time for Ryvius.
It was pretty much a Frost Nova for a couple of cards. Now, che0nsu. I think che0nsu just looked like I felt if I was him. It was just the sort of glance to the side and back like, I just cleared that other board.
Yeah.
And now there's another board I have to clear and not do any damage to my opponent. Savage.
che0nsu's hand's not doing a whole lot against these Noyatrons. We have enough swings to start getting through them, but again, the raiding party pulls only a green skin, which you can't even play this turn. And then the second Shadow Step doesn't help him do a whole lot. You get to replay these the Dread Corsairs after you step them if you really want to, you know, in a sense heal them back up, but not quite the value you want to be getting back off of the Shadow Step.
At least he gets to pull the green skin.
Right.
At least, but then his hand is effectively Shadow Step green skin, which is not magnificent considering we can see the Sea Giant, which is, I'll say, mediocre at the moment. It's a playable minion, which is good for Sea Giant, but the double Arcane Intellect means that Ryvius can go on for days, and che0nsu, outside of drawing the Myra's Unstable Element, it's going to be running a little bit dry here. I think che0nsu just has gone with his play, so he doesn't have to equip the Waggle Pick, but doesn't mean he gets a deck handout.
Yeah, he'll want to kill the Giggling Inventor here over the Cyclone because the Giggling Inventor at 7 mana poses a threat with Conjurer's Calling. Let Ziliax pick up Arcane Intellect's a good start.
He's just going from good to better now. I feel like this whole game so far, Ryvius drew the Ziliax for the nice trade, as you said, and now there's still 2 Arcane Intellects in the hand. Thank you, Mana Cyclone.
Oh.
And also a Frost Nova.
No, it was a magic trick.
Oh, sorry, Magic Trick, not Mana Cyclone.
Yeah, I was looking at them like...
It's because Mana Cyclone was on the board,
Yeah,
but it
right?
wasn't played, right?
I was going to say, can we,
It was summoned,
can we check these decks? 3 Arcane Intellects?
I mean, I know this is Specialist, but this is silly.
Okay. che0nsu taking his turn here, playing out the green skin, hoping for something in his deck to help him out. There's not a whole lot left that'll give him gas. He probably needs a Miscreant or Myra's to be able to stay in this game. Ryvius taking time to draw. He's almost at full health.
Yeah, when Ryvius plays 1 Arcane Intellect and then another, and it's completely fine and safe versus Rogue, is when you know you're feeling good about life, if you're Ryvius here, because he spent pretty much his turn just drawing cards and not really doing anything else, and he's fine, like you said, nearly full health. che0nsu has to make something big happen, and Evil Miscreant isn't bad though.
I'm expecting perhaps a Preparation Miscreant. You could Shadow Step the green skin to buff up your weapon, kind of bait out the weapon removal, or you can... Okay.
I was wondering whether you actually Shadow Step the Miscreant.
Yeah, I'm thinking you want the Miscreant for more staying power.
Ooh, okay, 5 to face. Nice. He can double pay the 1/1 to kill the Mana Cyclone too. Very powerful turn. che0nsu needed something like this.
Yeah, this is exactly what che0nsu needed to stay in the game.
Just working out whether he wants a 2/1. I think you go the other way. So I feel like this just makes Sea Giant more playable than it needs to be.
Not a lot of way to deal 3 damage to Miscreant, at least naturally in Ryvius' deck, so che0nsu's holding off the Shadow Step for now.
We can see Scorch is in hand though, because you can't play around cards you don't know about. But yeah, oh, here we go. Just
Let's let Ryvius
look
play
at the
Mountain
fireworks.
Giant. Both Conjurer's Calling can come out here.
Oh my.
He can choose to decide if he wants to...
Just keep playing it, it's fine.
Well, you can Nova here as well to just make sure no damage gets in. Or you can...
Arcane Explosion's probably fine. He's actually just going to play
as
Super
well.
Save.
Cleaning up.
Scorch into Arcane Explosion. Yeah, wouldn't have, I guess, wouldn't have Novid if he'd Scorched in the green skin, but there's a sap. But what's a sap going to do at this point?
I mean, I don't know if you want to sap anything here.
You prefer to sap your own Miscreant
Yeah.
outside of any other minion.
That's just kind of what this mage does. Like, there's so many different ways you can utilize the tools in the deck to just do just about anything.
Yeah.
It has trouble healing, but other than that, you can generate big boards, you can stop big boards, you can delay the game, make big minions, small minions.
Yeah, and even like the inclusion again, this one Sandbinder most of the list are playing is just nice because it's a decent minion. It's not bad. It draws a card, and that card it draws is either a Mountain Giant or a Mana Cyclone, both fantastic. And also, it's just not, again, the worst target for a Conjurer's Calling as an emergency, so...
Yeah, in some matchups, the 4-drop is just good.
Yeah, it's just good enough. Like against Rogue, for example, you don't always need Mountain Giants, you can just play it. It's going to sap the Emrys.
I don't think Ryvius is going to spend 10 mana to play that.
Yeah. Just going to summon some more.
Now, the thing is, what I said previously, Mage has difficulty healing. We've seen Ryvius play out already the Zilliax in the deck. There's no Ice Barrier, there's no Alex Schwarz or stuff like that. So if che0nsu does manage to just stall out the game a bit, a few more turns, find maybe Leroy or Myra's, get some extra chip damage in, he could end the game. 18 health isn't that much against Rogue.
Yep, there's a fear that this, he knows one card is a lackey in che0nsu's hand, but he doesn't know the other one. I think there's a consideration for playing the Secret and playing Frost Nova.
Yep.
Because then you make che0nsu think, oh, if it's any other Secret, then I'm in trouble.
I think Ryvius is going
to... He did get the Emrys back, I told you.
Ryvius is going to try to close out the game next turn.
I love the Secret play, though, because if Ryvius thinks that che0nsu's one card is Leroy, then che0nsu has to think about what he needs to do if it's an Ice Barrier,
right?
For example, or a Vaporize, because he can't attack any other way apart from a Leroy.
Yeah, that's the thing. Even if the secrets aren't good, just the fact that they're up means it's difficult to decide how to play around stuff, if you even can.
Now he's going to be feeling pretty safe because che0nsu's just digging for a dream, and unless they release it soon, I don't think they've added a new lackey that says kill multiple 8/8s on the board.
He could discover Vanish.
He could, yeah.
Could also discover Betrayal.
What the plank would help maybe a tiny bit, but Ryvius,
yeah, sigh of relief there
for that win, and I don't blame him because honestly, this is not even a